Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
Dispose of the trash.
I
never miss. You won't bow out, then you leave me no choice.
Further.
Fire support! You're mine! I'll finish you here and now! Vacuum blade! The flame inside you! That freaking does it! Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
By the power of flame!
Force flash!
Finish without a break! Lightning orb!
Now you see what I can do!
Force flash! Dance in the wind! Sweep
You're on!
Explode the stockpile!
Not today!
Damn it!
Vacuum blade! Vacuum blade! Take this!
This ends now! now!
Consider yourself finished. Now!
Strike! Do it!
It's my turn! Take it! Forward blast!
Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Well then, let's keep moving. Get lost!
Strike! Super forward blast!
Breaking
Breaking
sword!
does it!
Art steel!
Hold nothing back!
It's like trying to keep up with a wall!
Away!
Illuminate the
Nothing
dark!
gets by me!
Holy quiver! Piercing sun!
Easy and smelling to me. Yeah! And
Lightning
to
radiant
me!
cascade! I'll bring you...
Where are you going?
There!
Fred! Dance
Back
in the
in
wind!
blade!
Air
I'll bring
thrust!
you back.
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here we go again!
Let me show you what
Try
my heart
it
can
again.
do!
Relax.
Rise and shine! Wait now, I'm going to need to use all the power of my
No
healing arts
further.
to accomplish
I'm on
this.
Far enough!
Resurrecting orb! More with that!
This one's all mine!
Now you see what I can do! I'm just getting started! I'll tear you apart!
Vacuum blade!
Do it!
Totally! In an instant! Impact block! Not a chance!
Dance in the wind!
I'm just getting started! Take this!
By the power of Jane! Vanish without
You shouldn't have
a
messed with me!
There!
Now!
Remote!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
That took more energy than I expected.
No choice!
Take this!
Not in your dreams!
That freaking does it!
As if the normal creepy crawlies aren't disgusting
Blade
enough.
outside is yours to be let free!
Raging sword!
Void blast!
Anything in armor is all mine!
Void blast!
Smash you! I'm just getting started!
Ready to go!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Eat this! I'm just getting
Void
started!
blast!
Radiant
Fire!
Strike!
Lightning orb! Raging cascade!
Go away!
Strike!
That'll bring you down.
It's
Dance
time!
in the wind!
Void blast!
Annihilation!
Mirage!
Shine! Reload!
Void blast! Mirage!
Radiant dance in the wind!
It's on!
In here! Into the shadow! More for the
Strike!
stockpile!
Void
Mega
blast!
ray!
Eat dirt!
Annihilation!
Void blast!
Mega ray!
Strike!
More with
I'll
that
smash
Necron!
you!
Annihilate
Void
the
blast!
glue!
Mirage! Take it!
Holy land!
I'm not done!
I'm on it!
Void blast!
Here! Radiant
Try harder!
Annihilation! Dance in the wind!
Void blast!
Wait now!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's
Dance in the
for.
wind!
Get the honey.
Done!
In here!
I'll leave it to you! Here I come!
Ready!
First strike!
Gravitas field!
Void blast!
Mega dreams!
This one's all mine!
Back into the fray!
Burn!
Oh, sparkling stars!
These things have got your name on them!
Strike! Void blast!
Finish without a trace!
Strike!
I can carve through
Void
armor!
blast! Strike!
Eat this!
Void
I
blast!
never miss! I can do this all day!
Mirage!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Will this help?
Strike! Void blast! Strike!
Illuminate
Try
the
harder!
It's time!
Mega ray!
That's my focus!
Holy land!
Void blast!
Lightning orb! Take it
Force
down!
blast!
Air
Try
thrust!
harder!
Playz
This
will
one's
roar!
all mine!
Force
Force blast! Strike!
Air thrust!
Force blast!
Now!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Let me show you what my art can do!
Strike! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Bad guys really don't mess around.
No backing down!
Here's a healing roar!
You picked the wrong fight!
Blade!
Vacuum blade!
I can carve through armor!
There!
And here! These ones can run rings around us!
Vacuum blade!
Spear! Here's evil!
There!
Oh, sparkling stars of light!
Vacuum
Rain
blade!
down and purify!
These fists have got
Stand
your
back.
name on them!
I'll trip it up.
First strike!
Cloud magic! Freeze blast!
Take it!
Fear, thrust, and pain. No further!
Radiant! Here!
Here!
Super swallow
Move
jam!
it!
Wind attack!
You're finished! There! It's gone! Ignite!
Raging cascade! Primed and ready!
Vacuum blade!
This one's mine!
There!
Vacuum
Vacuum blade!
Freeze Lancer!
Mada! Pierce! Megasonic thrust! Pierce!
Mega Ray!
Prepare to be seized!
Dance in the wind!
In a bind?
Megasonic thrust!
Glacial Spear! Pierce out! Freeze Lancer!
Still!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! I can feel my power growing! What the? When did it get pitch dark all of a sudden?
The lights are all out. Think it has something to do with the explosion back in the Forbidden Zone? Doe?
You two. Faria, Avakir. Thank goodness you're safe.
Avakir filled me in about everything. About how I ambushed you all.
She doesn't remember a thing, so she really was being controlled.
He told me about Tarnigan, too. Is it true?
What difference does it make? What's...
Stop casting me off, just for once!
Faria, not now. It can wait. Dohalim, let...
So I can see.
It's the city's core reactor. It's damaged. Some of the basic systems we've managed to keep online, but complete restoration's still a way off.
You're an elite technician, though. You can fix it, right?
If so, then what's the problem?
Panic's begun to set in among the citizens. Until now, whenever something like this happened, the Sovereign would issue a decree. But this time, not so much as a peep. Any longer, and we run the risk of riots breaking out before we can get things back up and running.
Forget the Sovereign. I doubt you'll be hearing from...
What's that supposed to mean? Do you know something?
Suffice it to say, the Sovereign isn't the kind of ruler we thought he was. That is, if he ever even existed, which is looking doubtful.
Are you out of your mind? Why, if people knew that a lord such as yourself was...
There's no time to explain now. It sounds like we need to find a way to keep Lenegis from spiraling out of control.
We need to stop that.
But how do we do that?
Riots feed on discontent and unrest, right? So if we want to keep the peace, we just need...
At ease. Like by letting them hear directly from someone they trust. That's it. Who's the highest-ranking person in Lenegis right now?
Lenegis wouldn't have a next in line. After all, you said the Sovereign...
Correct. The closest thing to an authority figure would be a lord. Avakir, you mentioned a few facilities were still online. Which ones?
Why hasn't the Sovereign said anything?
Please, won't somebody explain what's going on?
Is it over? What's going to happen to all of us?
Heed me now, fellow Renans of Lenegus. It is I, Lord Dovalim Ilkaris of Eldaman and Sia.
Look, up there! It's Lord Dohalim!
Hold on! He should be in the crown contest! Shouldn't he? Why isn't the Sovereign talking to us?
The Sovereign is seeing to other matters right now. In my capacity as Lord, I speak to you in his stead. You're afraid, as people so often are when faced with the unknown. I hope you'll allow me to put your fears to rest. The city's core reactor has experienced a malfunction. However, we have our top engineers attending to the matter, and things will soon be back to normal. I know that you feel abandoned, perhaps more scared and alone than ever before. But I ask you all to keep one thing in mind. You are Lenegus, not the Lords and Sovereign. The solidarity of its citizens is the mortar that holds it together. If we don't allow ourselves to be distracted by our differences, if we put our hearts and minds together and stand as one, I am confident we will find new hope. I would be honored to stand with you. Not as a person of loftier rank, but as another human being among many. I hope that you'll lend me your strength, for if we can persevere as one, I know a bright tomorrow awaits.
Your speech seems to have done the trick. Looks like the city won't be—
I only pray the relief will tide the city over for the time being.
What you said earlier, about the Sovereign possibly not even existing.
It's still too premature to say with any certainty, but I believe so. This whole time, this world we've been fed was—
But
I can believe it. After everything I saw in the Forbidden Zone, what they did to Faria,
But what about hierarchy, Avakir? Authority? The very foundations of Renan's—
I'd say we found someone capable of doing just that, wouldn't—
You?
I have business I must take care of first. But once everything is over, but not as your sovereign, nor as a leader, the likes—
But how—
I'm not sure yet. All I have is a feeling that here in Lenegus, one in which people won't be judged by birthright or on the power of their astral arts. Things like— oh, I don't know.
When I bumped into you after all those years, I said you were no different. I feel like maybe now I can—
You go finish whatever it is you've got to do. I'll hold down the fort here and—
Thank you.
I guess you're not going to make it to Menancia for the foreseeable future.
Indeed.
The people of Elda Menancia can look after themselves just fine. Besides, with you leading the people here, it'll help spread the idea—
Sounds like you're in it for the long haul.
How could I not be? After the second chance that— From this day forth, I shall— Though the memories of the departed shall remain—
Remember, you're going to be leading the people here, not ruling them.
True enough. Whatever—
With or without her, I suspect you're gonna have your hands full. We should be heading back to the ship. Business on Rena. Looks like the people of Lenegus can rest easy.
I couldn't have done it without your words of encouragement, Law.
Hey, you're the one who made the speech.
I think everybody can share the credit here.
In one sense, when all is said and done, perhaps—
You, a Renan Lord.
I was complicit in the Renan system, bound by its values. Resigned, and when I realized the severity of my mistake, all I longed for— a lord. And yet my first instinct was to place—
I think I can relate. I couldn't stand watching my people bow and the ability to think for yourself and be your own master. That's what separates a slave. Zephyr taught me how to fight. But in doing—
Even if it means stumbling along the way. If it's on a road of our own choosing. Or, to put it another way, so long as his heart is compromised, even the loftiest of kings is no freer than a slave. This Zephyr character sounds like he was a wise man indeed.
There's just so much I wish I could ask him, especially now.
How long have you known?
Known what?
About the darkness I carry inside me. You seem to have been aware of it for quite some time now.
Why ask me now? What does it matter? But... yes, I have.
So basically since the very start of our journey then. Just...
leave the past where it belongs. We have no need for it now. You're forging ahead. That's what matters. If my brother could see you, he'd be proud. Well then, just as well it's not a
Kisara? Anyone?
Sorry.
Among other things. To be entirely honest, I couldn't...
You were thinking about
I was just thinking how good it is to see him moving forward at last. It was always so infuriating, knowing how capable he could be if he just put his mind to it. But now, he's finally beginning to
So, then why do you...
Oh, I don't know if I'd say sad. There's a bittersweetness to it, I guess. It probably sounds weird, doesn't it? I have this massive...
Must be that maternal instinct of you.
Rinwell's right. You're like a mother bird, finally letting go as her child takes his first shaking...
A pretty big child.
That's one way to look at it. I wouldn't like to see Dohalim... All this has made me realize I can't allow myself to become a prisoner. If Dohalim can forge his own path ahead, then I can...
What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
Did we really just spend that much money?
thought we'd find answers on Lenegis, but we just ended up finding more questions.
You can say that again. And now we have more problems to fix, too.
That can wait for now. We've got more than enough on our plates to deal with as it is.
Yeah. Which is why we're going...
All the answers we've been looking for are on that planet. The person responsible for all the answers have to be there.
So, what do we do first when we...
We know nothing about the Renan homeworld or what we might face once we arrive.
It's also entirely possible that the first thing we're going to...
If we come across a capital, we should... What? Damn! The hell just happened?
Our course has been altered. The coordinates are pointing to a different destination.
What's that?
The ship's controls aren't accepting my commands.
That's bad, right?
Quite bad. We've lost control.
Is all of this the Red Women's doing?
Are they trying to finish us off before we can land?
Everyone! Look there!
A flower blooming out of Retta?
But that flower looks like it's absorbing all of Dana's energy.
And it appears Lenegis is serving as a conduit for that energy to reach here. Could that have been its true purpose all along?
If that's true, do you think the people back on Lenegis are all right?
Damn it! Haven't they taken enough already?
The Flower of Oblivion.
With everything that's happening, we need to get back to Lenegis. Is the
Unfortunately, yes. Even more so than when it lay dormant.
Can you fix it?
Starships are extremely complex machines. One wrong move...
So what? We're just stuck inside.
I don't believe this. We're watching Dana die before our eyes, and we have no choice.
Law, calm down!
Right.
It's still too early to give up.
Alphen.
Now what?
The starship, it's back online?
No, this is different. Something is pulling...
We managed to get moving, but where are we?
It looks like Lenegis in here.
Do you think we might run into more Renans here? Or those
Perhaps. Someone brought us here.
We haven't been ambushed, so that probably means they aren't hostile. Still...
Hey!
If they wanted to attack us, they could have done so while we were back on the starship. We should see...
Ah, Shion, just in the nick of time. Here, lend me a hand while I...
No!
What the...
No, I'm the one who should apologize.
Again, Law? Can't you even go a minute without...
Seriously, it's fine. I'd rather that than people feeling like they're walking on it. Besides, I'm the one who should be vigilant about...
Actually, I've been meaning to ask. Not be...
I guess I never really thought about it in those terms. It was... Before long, it was just part of my everyday reality. I think I even forgot. Which isn't to say I didn't feel alone. I did.
So numb to your reality, you couldn't even recognize it as loneliness?
It's fine. I know I'm not...
But I can't even touch you. No way.
I appreciate... Until I get rid of these thorns, I guess I'll have to put up with it just a... Maybe it'll be soon, maybe it won't be. But either way...
Yeah, just hang in there. One day, we'll share... Boo!
Ah! What the? Are you out of your...
Oh, come on. How am I supposed to resist with you looking all...
It's called experiencing feelings appropriate to the situation.
Yeah, but seeing you act all nervous...
Oh.
Staying alert is important, but too much caution can cloud your judgment.
Still can't get over what we saw happening outside the starship.
Yeah, our planet's really not doing...
I've only ever seen Rena from the surface of Dana, so I figured it was just another round. Still, though, I never would have imagined Rena actually looked like that.
Beats me. I have absolutely no clue. It's so surreal. It looks like a...
Rena and Dana. We were taught that both worlds were spherical bodies. But to think that they lied to us, not only about the Sovereign and the Crown contest.
Dohalim.
Okay, who's the wise guy that summoned us here?
Someone formidable enough to bring our starship along with us.
They must be here somewhere. Let's find them.
That beam of light joining Dana and Rena. It was the Renan side that at first...
That's what it looked like. And then the Dana...
Perhaps it was some kind of directive from the Renan homeworld?
Which would mean that whoever's behind all this is on Rena after all. But what are they after?
Try to stay calm. With so many factors we don't understand. What is it?
No, it's just... so much for me making progress.
You made it this far. You notice something, you change it. That's all anyone can do. But you can't stand still.
This place looks a lot like that room we saw back in the Forbidden Zone.
Huh? What's that? It's one of those!
A red woman in disguise. Or is this...
So it was a trap?
It doesn't look like it can move. Tell me, are you the one who brought us here?
That is correct. It is unusual for me to have unexpected guests these days.
It can talk.
What are you?
Hevrect 35.
Hevrect 35. Is that your name?
Correct.
What is this place? No, wait, before that, just what exactly—
Before I answer, I have a question for you.
We did not come to this place by choice. Our ship was brought here against our will, by a group of red women who can shift—
In that case, we can assume my brethren who serve the Great Spirit have deemed you all to be a threat most grave.
What do you mean, serve? Are you saying there really is someone more powerful than the red women, pulling their strings?
What did you do to us?
I examined your bodies. You have not been harmed in any way. Identifiers detected. The Sovereign and Maiden are among you. However, you aren't under its control. I see why they viewed you as a danger now.
Oh goody, more riddles.
Do you think we can trust this thing?
Like it or not, it may be our best chance at a ticket out of here. Let's at least hear it out.
I shall now answer your questions. We are Helganquil. The red women you encountered previously are a form of disguise we employ from time to time, but not our true form.
Helganquil?
You are on Dake Phasol, a celestial base which drifted here by accident. The will of Rena's great spirit no longer reaches us here. Since my sudden separation from the Great Spirit's influence, I have used any and all means to extend my lifespan. As I have done so, I have also set out to monitor and research Rena and Dana from this position.
A question. What is this Great Spirit of which you speak? Is it something that rules over your kind?
Correct. The Great Astral Spirit is a large mass of astral energy that fills all of Rena, one with its own will, a voice we cannot refuse.
A voice? Just like Dana.
The voice of the Great Spirit speaks to our hearts directly, and we have served it, without question, throughout the ages.
Does that mean it was controlling your minds? Wait a second. Could this Great Spirit be the true Sovereign of Rena?
The true ruler of Rena. It could be the same thing that's controlling Volron.
Wait, back up. You're telling us this great spirit of yours is the one that ordered you things to harvest the astral energy from Dana? I'm not sure I believe that.
Why not? We've already made contact with the will of Dana back in the Wedge, and in the Forbidden Zone on Lena.
Maybe not, but think about what you're saying. If Dana has a will like Rena, then that would mean that we've been controlled by the voice of Dana this whole time, just like these things.
Dana's will hasn't been forcing us to do anything.
Yeah, but...
Let's assume that what Hevrect 35 claims is true, and that we are indeed cut off from both planets. Even if we had previously been under the control of Dana's will, we would have noticed now that we are disconnected.
Your fear is not based in logic. The voice of Dana is much smaller and quieter compared to that of Rena's Great Spirit. Rena's astral energy is amassed at its center, whereas Dana's is shared among all its constituents. So thinly is that energy spread that it cannot coalesce and formulate a will. Our findings here indicate as much.
Which explains why we felt its will where we did. The Wedge and Lenegis are where so much of that energy had been accumulated.
The Great Spirit's desire is to consume all astral energy, and the pursuit of that desire is why you see Rena in its current state. As a result, it has turned its attention toward Dana.
Is that why the crown contest is necessary? So that the Great Spirit can feed off of Dana?
Indeed. And it was to that end that we Helganquil devised the crown contest. Had the initial spirit channeling from 300 years ago succeeded, all of Dana's astral energy would have been seized.
But the ceremony failed. Lenegis was severely damaged, and you lost both the Sovereign and the Renasalma.
Correct. A change in plan was required to ensure the spirit channeling's success. However, recreating the Renis Alma required a vast amount of energy. That is why we turned to Dana.
So that was the real purpose behind the crown contest. An efficient means to harvest the necessary energy from Dana.
This is all happening because of me.
Nevertheless, you still haven't answered one of Alphen's original questions. Just why have you brought us here to your base, Hevrecht 35?
First, it was to confirm the identities of you, my unexpected visitors. Second, it was to ascertain whether you would be likely to accept my request.
A request? But what could someone like you want us to...
I wish for you all to slay the Great Spirit.
I'm sorry, did you just ask us to kill your master?
I did. It is in your best interest that you do so, I might add.
What makes you say that?
Lenegis has entered the final stage of the spirit channeling plan. As we speak, Dana's energy is being harvested en masse and transmitted to Rena. If nothing is done about the Great Spirit, it will not be long before all is lost.
You're saying the destruction we saw earlier is just the beginning? That...
We won't let that happen.
Why do you want us to kill the Great Spirit so badly? Is it to save our world? To free you, Helganquil, from under its control? Why?
No. My primary concern is validating our findings and analysis, which have taken many years to realize. As such, it is my desire to see how your actions impact and change these systems. However, I will not deny that vengeance also plays a part.
Vengeance? For what?
In spite of our long service to the Great Spirit, our species is on the brink of extinction.
You mean... you're dying?
At this stage, it would be wise for you to talk with the others. Ask them what you need to know. Once you have your answer, return to me. If you agree to help, I shall fix your ship.
Others? Just how many of you are there?
I am the only Helganquil who inhabits Dake Faisal.
Hey! Hey!
It's no use. I think it's done talking to us. Let's take a look around.
You can't seriously be buying anything that creature told us, right?
To be honest, the conversation went on for so long, I'm not sure I understood all of it.
At the very least, everything it said about the Renan Great Spirit adds up. At the end of the day, that being said, had we not previously encountered the will of Dana,
The spirit of Rena wants to see Dana completely destroyed.
But why? Astral energy...
It doesn't matter. I don't care if we're up against an entire world or what its game is. We're not going to let it
Right.
There is one other thing that concerns how the Great Spirit, the Helganquil, and the Crown Contest are all part of a centuries-long plan is clear enough.
Now that you mention it, and all that talk, Hevrecht 35 never even brought up the Renans.
Maybe it had a reason for keeping its silence. Or perhaps there's even more. Let's find out.